you present here. In 10 days training program on step-by-step guide to write a good research paper. As you all know that today we all are here for 8th day of training program, and yesterday in day 7 the session was the yesterday session was very superb on the topic, and it was compiling with proper reference and bibliography. That was a full package of study and summarization of the topic. And today our topic is understanding ethical issues and plagiarism. For that, we have joined with respected Dr. Sumanta Datta sir. I know you all are very curious for the session, but before going ahead, I would like to introduce sir, and I consider it a great honor for me. Dr. Sumanta Datta sir is presently associated with the Postgraduate Research Department of Commerce, St. Xavier College, Kolkata, under the University of Calcutta. He has over 19 years of experience in teaching and research. He has contributed 3 edited books, 1 case book, and 1 research book from a reputed publishing house from India. He has written a book titled Research and Publication Ethics in Social Science for MPhil PhD scholars, which was mandated by the UGC for pre-PhD registration. He has also contributed more than 40 research papers in various national and international journals, including UGC-CARE. He acted as a resource person on several national level workshops organized by various research bodies in India on the theme research ethics and way to write research papers in social science. He acted as a reviewer from the desk of editors-in-chief JIAS Institute of Indian Studies, HUFS, Korea. At present, he acted as an associate editor of biannual peer-reviewed reference journal named International Journal of Academic Research and Development. His work has been cited well both in SSRN Top 10 download list as well as in Google Scholar. For his outstanding contribution in the field of marketing research, he got the National Education Leadership Award in 2019. He also obtained the Teaching and Research Award in 2020, the Outstanding Postgraduate Faculty Mentoring Award in 2020-21, and Education Excellence Award in 2021. So now I would like to request, sir, please welcome, sir. Now the session is yours. It was a great honor to introduce you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening to all of you. Special thanks to our own family Research Foundation of India, Nikita ma'am specifically, and Ajay sir for this. So I'm very much grateful to my esteemed institution, Research Foundation of India, for giving me this opportunity again and again to interact with all the scholars in the field of social science and other allied discipline. So without wasting time, I'm just keeping my PowerPoint ready. So give me just 1 minute time. I think I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir. Audible.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Am I audible? The PowerPoint is visible to all of you?
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay. So a very good evening to all of you. Our topic today was the understanding the ethical issues and plagiarism. So I'm very much thankful to the Parul University and PPIT Delhi as well. And special thanks to Ajay sir without fail for his continuous support and mentoring us to achieve a new high to our own Research Foundation of India. Now, the topic was very important and pertinent in the light of new education policy 2020. Why? Now, if we can go by this particular structuring system of this policy, if you go by the point like institutional restructuring and the consolidation, we have seen that there is a sea change in our early childhood level when we have seen the 3 years undergraduate level and 2 years masters. Now, there is new. Now it becomes a 4 years bachelor's program. Now the bachelor's program again subdivided into 2 parts: research without research and with research, and automatically after 3 years the student can go for an exit, and automatically 1 year's master's program. There is a clause that if a student perform on a continuously and consistently and over all the semesters with 75% and above, automatically that particular student can opt for research. Now, why I am focusing on that issue? Because see, earlier those days when we are passing out, at that time we have done our masters and then we can go for MPhil and later on we can opt for our PhD program. So somehow down the line, what is most important, we are not too much aware of the concept of this ethical related issue pertaining to research. Now, when undergraduate students are directly opt for honors with research, automatically it will create a particular awareness among, it is the most important on the part of our faculty community, particularly among the academicians at large, as well as among the senior professors or senior academicians, among other than that senior research scholars, to disseminate the information about this unethical issue. What type of unethical issue that may happen in the context of our research? Okay, what we will do, how we can overcome. So this is very important. Next important thing I likely to share with all of you, because that's more important. If you are teaching in a particular premier institution like IITs, IIMs or something like that, but think about the rest of the institution in India. If we go by the latest statistic that is available with us in 2020 and 2021, the All India Survey on Higher Education. So you can see the number of universities that we have till date on that particular survey. According to that survey, is 1,113. Number of colleges that we have, 43,796. Number of standalone institution, 11,296. And number of students, 4.14 crore, not a matter of joke. And number of teachers, 15.05 lakh. Earlier it was 15.03 lakh in 2019 and 20 survey. Now it is 15.05 lakh. And so the pupils teachers ratio becomes 24:1. Now, why I'm again telling you this particular, because see, the most important role that we have to play in the juncture of this implementation of this NEP, the most important thing that to what extent we can guide our students, okay, diligently and tactfully, so that they can conduct the undergraduate research with ethical. Not only that, it is also similarly applicable for the students who are after masters, they are opting for PhD program. So we need disseminate this information. Now, why I am telling this story to all of you, because all of you somehow down the line are all experienced, expertise in this field. Maybe some of you are doing your PhD, but in this context, most important thing arises, then why we learn this ethics on particularly in the domain of research. See, I can tell you based on my limited number of experience that I have, okay, and I have conducted more than 60 such workshops across India. What I have found, okay, that the understanding the morality of practice is very important. What I will do, okay, what course of action I will follow, which one is right and wrong, that need to be identified properly at each and every phase of your study, each and every phase of your research. That is more important. Otherwise, it will hamper your entire academic career. So that is why understanding the ethics is very important. Now, in the context, I can tell you one thing, that if I teach you this ethics right now, then is it possible for you to follow? I can give you so many examples. This session is a very much interactive. Okay, I will give you so many examples, the cases that I have came across in throughout my life. Okay, that I have experienced so far from my students. I will experience those things. I will put in the form of cases so that you can learn that what happened actually, and what is the course of action you will adopt in order to overcome the problem pertaining to research ethics. Now, in the context, you can ask me one question, that, sir, why this ethics, unethical practice is on rise? Okay, now why it is growing and growing in the field of social science, in the field of science, whatever may be the field. Now, it is increasing day by day because of certain issues. Because there are so many other issues that there. I'm not focusing on that issue. Okay. Now, the main issue is that difficulty of publishing, constant pressure from academia, and the third one. I'm starting from the third one first and then coming to the last 2 points again. Now, what is most important thing is that in the third point, on 27th of May, NAC has issued a particular guideline. And in this specific guideline, they have stated very clearly that when they are evaluating a particular institution or HEI, okay, for NAC accreditation purpose, they will consider those publication, okay, those publication of the faculty members of this esteemed institute, or as well as the scholars of that institute, which are published either in the UGC-CARE, or maybe in the Web of Science, or maybe in the Publon, or maybe in the Scopus. Not other than that, if you publish a paper in an only peer-reviewed journal, they will not consider for the purpose of accreditation purpose. Okay, so this is a very important turning point for all the academic institutions, because they try to think that if we have to publish, we have to publish in a journal which is either listed in the UGC CARE Group 1 or Group 2, or maybe in the Scopus, maybe on Web of Science or Publon. Second most important thing arises when all the people, all the faculty members and scholars are directing their effort towards publication. Automatically what happens, the limited number of journals that we have, there are too much pressure. Particularly, sometimes it becomes very difficult for faculty members to managing their academic life as well as their administrative life in a college to keep some more time on publication. So automatically what happened now, and the publication house is also taking too much time because of the too much pressure. Okay, so many people are sending their papers for publication. Like I can give an example of my own. I have submitted a paper of 2 years ago. I'm just giving an example. I have submitted a paper in a very good journal listed in the UGC CARE Group 1. What happened that once I submitted the paper, they took more than 1 year. There is no response from their end. So when it crossed 10 months, I just sent again a letter that please tell me the status of my paper. They said that, sir, your paper is still in queue. It will take another more 1 year to get the feedback from the reviewers because of too much queue is there, okay, for publication. So I say that other then what happened, that I send a letter to the editorial office that by that time my data becomes redundant. Okay, so I request them to allow me so that I can withdraw my paper from your esteemed journal. Because otherwise what happened, by that time the particular data on the basis of that I have done the particular research becomes irrelevant. So this is very important. And third most important thing, if you not consider the state-run colleges are affiliated to a state university, but private colleges, they are creating a pressure on the faculty member that you have to publish at least 3 or 4 papers in a year. So automatically, when you are in pressure, automatically either if you are a guide, if you are a mentor, if you are a research guide, automatically you can try to give the pressure to your scholar to please publish. Okay, otherwise what happens if you're not a guide, automatically the entire pressure comes to on your shoulder, and beside all your tasks you have to publish. So automatically what happens, you are trying to undertake some alternative route, so that, and that based on this alternative route you are slowly involved into the unethical practices. So this is very important for us to understand. I can give you so many examples that I came across. Once I take a session, at the end of the session, the scholars are telling me, calling me, and then are telling me all the information that they have. But you can ask me one question, that, sir, at what particular phase this misconduct will happen? So you were talking about unethical practice, okay, publication misconduct, everything. So at what time it will happen? So I can tell you one thing, it can happen at any stage of your journey. Okay, now what is research cycle or research journey? Research journey does not only mean that you are pursuing your PhD, that is your research journey. Your research journey can start once you completed your PhD, awarded your PhD, and then automatically you start working on writing different articles at that time. Okay, or maybe you have written some paper in your early stage of your life at that time. So at any phase of your life, the research related misconduct can happen. So what is your role? Your role is to maintain a minimum research integrity, follow certain you can say basic principles, so that you can avoid to some extent the research related misconduct. Otherwise what happens, in the academic atmosphere, the academic periphery is very limited. People are know by each other. Okay, in your state, in our state, or maybe some other state, we know each other and their academic activity. Okay, so automatically we can identify that this person is doing this kind of unethical practice, so try to avoid. So people will try to avoid those persons. So automatically, the most important thing, to be focused on a particular issue, you should be ethical from your end. Okay, so that is why even though you are came across some of the unethical situation, you try to avoid it or bypass it technically or tactfully, what you can say. Now, there is one important thing. In the context of this, what is the most important thing? There arises a term called research fraud. The research fraud, the term, has been uttered firstly by the US Office of Research Integrity. United States Research Office of Integrity explored the term for the first time, and where they incorporate three basic parameters of research fraud under the head of unethical practice. So scholars can undertake the unethical practice in the form of either three possible ways, what they called FFP: fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism. The most important part is that these three important elements is also being accepted by Committee on Publication Ethics as well as UGC wide notification. Okay, so that is why the research fraud becomes an important component in the field of unethical practice or research-related fraud or research-related misconduct and publication misconduct. Okay, now we try to explore these three important elements based on two possible cases, case one and case two. And then automatically we will move forward and show you some other cases as well. Okay, based on availability of time. Now, the first one, we are combining this fabrication and the falsification process, how it happened, how we can overcome this particular problem from our point of view. Okay. Now, the first one, there is a point of difference between fabrication and falsification. Okay. Now, there is a two different terms. Both are not same. Okay. Sometimes we are assume that they are synonymous to each other, but they are not synonymous. Fabrication means you have the researcher did not actually do the study. That means the entire study made by the scholar based on fake data. It may possible that you may came across a particular research paper where all the data are available. So you just manipulate the data, incorporate the data in your set, in your research study, and as you and rewrite the article and rephrase the entire thing in your own possible way. And rewrite. I have seen so many cases. I know so many people. They have taken the entire thing, even all the variables as well as the figure, everything, the table and charts remain same, but the representation they have made, they rephrase it, rewrite in their own way. What they have done called data fabrication, because the study is not of their own. The study they have developed based on a fake data. So that is why it is called data fabrication. Now, what is falsification means? Okay, when you have done the experiment, but you have changed some of the data. That is very common practice among the research scholar, among the young research scholar. When suppose they are doing a pilot study, automatically they have collected some data from the respondent. Now, in order to at the initial level of their experiment, they are not getting a very favorable result. Okay, so what they are doing, they know the use of software properly, whatever may be the nature of the software. It may be R, it may be SPSS or something like that. So they try to manipulate the data in such a way so that they will get some favorable result, so that they can show the favorable result to their mentor and say that, sir, this is the work I have done, I got a positive result. Okay. Now, in case of social science, particularly in the field of geography, in case of anthropology or something like that, or some other subject, what happened, and in science as well, what is more interesting part is that, particularly in the field of geography or something like similar type of subjects like that, what they are using now. Suppose in geography they have to go for a field visit to collect the pictures from a particular end, and automatically now what they are doing, they are collecting the image from the Google image or from some other sources, relevant sources, from some other sources from internet or www, World Wide Web, and automatically they are using a software called Deepfakes. Deepfakes is an artificially intelligence-driven software. With the help of that, you can change the likeliness of this particular image or the brightness, the shape and size of the particular picture, make it more bright, make it more colorful, reshape the particular picture. Even you can change the, with the help of this, you can change the structure of the video as well. So automatically these things can be done. So these are nothing but a falsification. That means you have not visited the site and the actual pictures that you have not taken. So what is the way out? Way out that nowadays what the institution are demanding from the scholars that please take a GI tag picture. Okay, so automatically that problems can be overcome. Okay, now there is another part is that if these things happen, then what is the problem? Okay, now in case of fabrication and falsification, if it is being adopted, this practice is being adopted by author, what will happen? Now, in case of fabrication and falsification, the general rule is that suppose a study is being made by three authors. If, for example, the paper has been written by three authors, A, B, and C. And out of these three authors, B is responsible to collect the data. So what B has done, B has fabricated the data, or maybe B falsified the data. Now there are another two authors. So it is a rule that says that as per the rule given by the COPE as well as the guideline, a standardized guideline across the globe, they stated that penalty will be imposed on the person, on the author who is responsible for collecting the data. Okay, so this is very important. So penalty will be imposed on the person, that is, or that particular author who is responsible for collecting the data. Now question arises, if B is penalized for the offense, then what is the penalty for A and C? Whether they will be excused from this? No, it is being stated after that a thorough examination must be made that to what extent A and C are check the authenticity of the data. If it is being found that what B has collected the data and assumed by A and C as correct, then automatically A and C, rest of the two authors, are also equally responsible for the similar kind of penalty as it was imposed on B. Okay, now this is a penalty consequence that the penalty must be imposed. The penalty must be imposed by the publishing house. The penalty can be imposed once it was informed to your HEI. Now here HEI means where you are working or maybe where you are doing your research. If it is being informed by the journal publishing house to that particular authority, automatically there is a chance that the authority, the principal or director of that institute can take some course of action based on the recommendation of the panel member. Okay, they can frame a particular panel committee, and on the basis of that, they can take some course of action. What publishing house can do? Publishing house can do, this is called retraction. Okay, now what is retraction? Retraction means once they find out the entire study, suppose your paper was published in the May issue of 2023. Now in the end of May or maybe in the beginning of June, they came across that the study that you have submitted and which is already been accepted and published in their portal, automatically what they will do, they will retract. That is means removing the particular article from their record or that from that particular volume. So that is called retraction. So retraction is being done by the publishing house in order to overcome this issue. Okay, I hope it is clear to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in case of second one, this is very important. Not second one, in relation to this fabrication and falsification, one important called image manipulation. Now, this in case of image manipulation, we have seen, I have shown you the examples of deepfakes that where you can use some artificially intelligence-driven software to manipulate the image, extending or enlarging the image, whatever. You know that if you go by the earlier, last couple 2-3 years ago, the newspaper, you can identify so many institutes in different parts of India, particularly in the science domain. It is being identified that they have done this data image manipulation, particularly in the science research. And more than 300 articles, research paper published by a particular university are identified as a plagiarized content. So it should be a very harmful. It will dilute the image of the institution. It will dilute the image of the particular person. Even we have came across the information that one senior professor under whom a particular scholar has done this kind of image manipulation, ultimately the penalty is being imposed not only to the scholar, but also as well as to the author. And see what is lies the prestige of that particular senior professor. Because maybe due to some pressure, the senior professor unable to check the authenticity of the article drafted by his scholar. Now see what happened. It was his his picture was published, flash on the newspaper, so everything. So it will dilute the entire image that you have created over a long period of time. So this is very important. Now this particular point is very important for all of you, because we all doing research. I am also a researcher. I am doing research on a continuous basis. So it is a learning lesson for me as well. When I am teaching you, every time when I am teaching you, I try to create a conscious mind. I try to create my awareness among this. So please don't do this kind of things. We should be aware of. So this is called a Creative Commons license that we know very well. Okay, now in a Creative Commons license, this is a symbol of Creative Commons license. So what does it mean? That when we are using any image for the purpose of our research, for the purpose of our, because that is very important. Students in the undergraduate level, postgraduate students, MPhil scholars, PhD scholars, immediately they can download any image and use it in their research. Don't do that. Verify by using this particular thing. Attend this particular session carefully. So if you see this particular logo, CC BY, it means what? It means when you are downloading any image, when this particular symbol is given along in this particular where from you are, suppose you are downloading a particular journal, where in the journal, in open access journal, this particular logo was given, CC BY. That means if any image you want to take from that particular article, okay, published article, then automatically you have to write down the figure name, figure 1, figure 2, whatever it may be in your article or chapter, then automatically the title of the figure, and then automatically source where from you have taken. That is, CC BY means give original credit to the original creator, and also write down the access where date and time on which particular date you have accessed this particular image. Now it is CC BY SA means you just shared alike whatever the image it was that you have downloaded. You don't does not have any authority to use a particular software like deepfakes and to change the image, change the brightness, change the restructuring of the shape. So CC BY SA means shared alike. Whatever it may be, you have to use it accordingly. CC BY NC, you cannot use for non-commercial purpose. You cannot use for commercial purpose. Okay, that means you have to use for NC, non-commercial purpose. Non-commercial purpose means suppose you have downloaded an image and using it for the brochure or placement related brochure, okay, or for promotion of your institution. That you cannot do. Okay, so what you have to do? You can use it for classroom teaching, so non-commercial purpose. Okay, and CC BY ND. This is more important for us because this is called ND means no derivation. No derivation of the image. Suppose you have gone through a Sage journal where you have came across a very good particular model on consumer behavior. Suppose TPP model, theory of planned behavior. Now this model was originally developed a couple of years ago in 1970s. So you try to use this particular model. That is no derivation. You cannot rechange the model immediately. So what you have to do? You have to give the original picture, original image, citing the original source. And now in the next diagram, you can go for extending the original diagram. But you have to keep the original diagram in your dissertation. That this is the diagram original. And based on the diagram, I try to extend it further for the purpose by inclusion of some new parameters as supported by my literature review. But in case of last one, it is called CC BY 0, which means the images are available in the public domain. That means original creator who have taken this original picture, uploaded the picture in the World Wide Web, and they allow anyone, they can use it for the purpose of their own purpose. It may be commercial purpose, it may be non-commercial purpose. For example, suppose you have downloaded some image from Shutterstock. Now you know the Shutterstock is a big repository of images. Okay, different according to the different situation, different mood, you can get so many images. But in Shutterstock, what happened? Some are downloadable, some you have to subscribe or purchase. Suppose you have downloaded some image from Shutterstock which is freely available. That means these are all in public domain. That means they are following the rule of Creative Commons License 0. It is available in the public domain so that you can use this image for the purpose of your research. I hope it is clear to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I can show you one important example in this context. If you can see this particular site, please, any one of you can inform me. Can you see this image, this particular link? I am Shillong site?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. Now, if you can go, suppose I just showing you for example purpose. Suppose you have opened a particular site, you are searching for some papers, or okay, but you have to keep in mind the concept of Creative Commons license. Now, this is a particular journal published by I am Shillong on management science. A very good journal. Okay. And very good indexing is there. It is open access as well as hard copy and soft copy version is available. Now you can see that suppose I am going through the particular paper, lockdown, stringency, and assessment of trajectory of COVID-19 pandemic in India. You can download the PDF free of cost or in HTML version and abstract. But see this one. I try to show you this one. CC by NC. Okay, that means this is a very important. What type of symbol they are carrying? This is very important for the purpose of your understanding. Once you understand this, automatically you can use it ethically. Okay, so this is more important for us. Coming to the case 2, this is very important for us to understand. Case 2 means plagiarism, because today's session is based on the publication related issues and plagiarism. So plagiarism means academic dishonesty or breach of ethics, as told by UGC in 2018 by publishing an extraordinary gadget specifically meant for plagiarism. Now, the plagiarism may be of different type. I'm coming to that point later on. So what is the most important part of plagiarism is that you can take the idea, you can take the result, you can take the words of someone else, but you are not giving appropriate citation, or you can say appropriate attribution. That is why the plagiarism came. And you know, this is a very prominent and pertinent issue nowadays. I don't know how, in the light of NEP, when the students, undergraduate students, are opt for this particular research-related project in their semester 7 and 8, how we can manage all those issues. But it is challenging for us. We have to keep them aware of this issue from the very beginning of their journey. Okay. Now, I put a particular question in front of you. So can you tell me what course of action? Please go by the point C. It should be C, wrongly written as B. So do you think, please go to the case, read the case and tell me what is your opinion, what course of action do we follow in respect of this particular candidate called Kaya? Question number C, last one. Any one of you, if you can give me some idea.
So is it fake plagiarism?
No, just tell me one thing, whether you will supporting that you will penalize Kaya or not. Just tell me this one first. What is your suggestion? Do you penalize Kaya as a teacher, as a mentor? What is your opinion?
She should not have done that. If she's providing a citation, if somebody's creation is being taken and she's giving the credit, then it is okay. Otherwise, it is a wrong attempt.
Okay, okay. That means since it is written specifically that paper had been plagiarized, that means she has not been cited properly. We can assume that particular thing. So what is your opinion? Can we penalize Kaya or not? In one word or in one sentence?
Actually, it is not her work.
Should be penalized.
So it should be penalized. It should be penalized. No plagiarism should be allowed.
So
Oh.
option C,
Yes, ma'am. Next, please, ma'am. Hello.
she had,
Sir, should be penalized.
Okay, sir. Okay.
so option C is correct. She should be penalized for that.
Okay. So I can understand that all of you are very strict teachers. Okay, but from my point of view, if you can ask me, but
Sir,
yes, sir. Yes, please.
Sir,
please.
sir, good evening, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
yes,
the title of the paper is same,
yes.
but whether she has copied everything from that.
A similar type of paper, sir. Similar type means the entire, assuming that the similar type, not only the title. See, it is written on a similar type of paper with a similar title.
Yeah.
So it means the title is also same as well as the content is more or less same.
So it is wrong, sir.
Then what is your suggestion, sir? Can we penalize Kaya?
Penalized. It is against this plagiarism norms.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you for your valuable suggestion to all of you. Thanks. This is otherwise the entire session will be very dull and gloomy. But my suggestion is that before you penalize the particular students, because see, assume that if you assume that Kaya is your student, so you have to think twice before you penalize Kaya. Okay. Most important thing is that you cannot immediately withdraw the best favor award from Kaya, because otherwise it will create a bad impact in the life of the academic career of Kaya. So as an editor, when you came across this information, but you have to judge the thing from a very soft corner point of view, whether the institute where he is doing the research, or whether he is a student of a postgraduate level, or maybe an undergraduate, are Kaya aware of plagiarism related issue? If it is yes, that the institute or the teachers have taken so many sessions on that issue, and they are all aware of this particular plagiarism related issue, automatically at that time, you, without any hesitation, you can penalize Kaya. Otherwise, not. So, I have interacted so many teachers across India. I interact on that particular ground and ask them what to do. So automatically, this is very important that some of the senior level professors are also not aware of the different types of plagiarism available and how we can overcome this particular problem. Not only that, that citation is a very important matter. Citation definitely matter, but there are some other issues. So I'm coming to the last two questions, that is being what type of plagiarism done by the presenter and what course of action can Kaya adopt to avoid plagiarism. So I will explain this with the help of the types of plagiarism that we can face. Okay. Now, so here for objective question number C, we can say immediately that if it is being explored, if it is being taught, if it is being explained by the institute, then automatically they can take stringent action against Kaya, otherwise not. This is very important issue called patchwork plagiarism. This is patchwork plagiarism. I think even you can remember your good old school days as well, that when we are doing our assignment, we are just copying and paste from Wikipedia as well. Most of the times we are taking mostly or heavily work from the Wikipedia and so many. Our students are collecting the data from Wikipedia and so many sources. And then they club together, and within a 1 day, they are preparing their assignment and submitting. So what actually they are doing, research scholars are also doing when their assignment submission, their deadline is very nearby, they are copying from here and there without incorporating the attribution or citation. So that is called patchwork plagiarism, patching up from here and there from several materials, and there is no attempt that was made by the scholar or by the student for acknowledging the original source. And that is also not only applicable for students. Sometimes we have came across that teachers are also adopting this kind of practices called patchwork. So what is the way out? The only way out is that teach them, don't go for this patchwork, rewrite the points based on your understanding. And definitely, if even though you are writing the thing in your own understanding, but please cite. Citation or attribution is must to avoid the basic issue of plagiarism. So by that particular way, we can overcome the problem related to patchwork plagiarism. Now, self-plagiarism. I think all of you are very aware of the term self-plagiarism. There are so many students asking me so many questions on the self-plagiarism. So what is that? I have written one paper, suppose. Okay, now I don't have too much time. I'm too much busy with of my academic sessions of classes as well as administrative job responsibility. So what I have no, I have only one paper on that area. It's domain specific area. So for writing the second paper, what I have done, and this particular why I'm writing the paper, because our conference organizing by our own institute, and it is very nearby. I have to submit an article. So what I have done, I have taken mostly from my own paper. So you can say one thing, sir, I have taken everything from my own. That earlier paper I have written. That is my novel idea. Then why it is plagiarism? Because you are taking something from someone else. Here the someone else, nothing but you. That is why it is called self-plagiarism. So self-plagiarism, so automatically you can ask me one question. That then what happens there? How we can overcome? So in case of overcoming the problem of this self-plagiarism, the most important issue is called self-citation. Now, you can tell me another question. That, sir, if I in a particular in my second paper, if I cite, how many times I can cite myself? Can you am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how many times I can cite in my second paper about my previous work? So there is a very important question. You cannot cite more. Now, so in case of overcoming the problem of self-plagiarism, one important note is that you can go for self-citation, but how much self-citation you can do. Okay. Now here, before you understand the self-citation process, you have to understand two types of things. Self-citation can be of two types: synchronous self-citation or author self-citation, and co-author self-citation or diachronous self-citation. Now, in case of self-citation, that is, suppose you are writing a second paper and you are citing your own. That is called author's own self-citation, or which is called synchronous self-citation. But in case of co-author self-citation, that is, suppose in the earlier paper, you A and B has written one paper, where A is nothing but you and B is your friend. Now, your friend B, along with C, is writing another paper where they have cited their previous work, where you are also as a co-author was there. So which one is more impactful? It is being suggested across the globe that in case of diachronous self-citation, that in case when the co-authors are writing a paper other than you, and they are citing the earlier paper where you are also as an author, it is more impactful than citing your own paper in your current one. So that means co-author self-citation is more impactful than author's own self-citation. So what is that then clause? Then author self-citation is not allowed. Yes, it is allowed. Author self-citation is allowed to avoid self-plagiarism. Author self-citation is necessary when your work is novel, when without your earlier citing your earlier work, it is not possible. But how much self-citation is possible? According to the study made across the globe, it is being specifically stated that only 12.7%, maximum 10% to 12.7%, you can go for a self-citation in your current paper that you have taken from your earlier paper. Okay, so in that way, the self-plagiarism can be avoided with the process of self-citation. Okay, now coming to the direct plagiarism. A word-by-word transcription from taking someone else's work and without any attribution. So you have taken someone's idea. So you can ask me, there is one session when I'm taking, there is a candidate from English, a research scholar from English, asked me this concept of this direct plagiarism. She stated that, sir, I'm doing my research on Shakespeare. And then please tell me that because I cannot change the verbatim that was given by Shakespeare, Keats, or Shelley, something like that. I have to quote them as it is. So then automatically it will be the part of, because I have to take word by word transcription from their portion. So it is a part of direct plagiarism. How I can overcome that? Okay, there is a law graduate, a law research scholar asked me this question. Sir, I am doing my research in law, and where I have to quote the verdict of Supreme Court. Then what happens? Then because I cannot change the verbatim that was given by the Supreme Court or the esteemed courts of India. So what I will do? So at that time, definitely they have to mention the word by word transcription from the section. So do you think that it will allow plagiarism? Now there arise two clauses out of it. To avoid direct plagiarism, you have to use, as a scholar, in order to overcome the particular pertinent problem of direct plagiarism, you can adopt two types of practice. You have to use quote. The quote may be of two types. One is called direct quote, one is called indirect quote. Okay. One is called short quote and another is called long quote. If it is less than 40 words, it is called short quote. If it is more than 40 words, it is called long quote. For the short quote, you have to put the entire quote within double quote, and at the end, you have to give a parenthetical citation. Okay. Again, I'm repeating. For short quote, it should be less than 40 words. The short quote you have to put within double quote, and you have to use a parenthetical citation. In case of long quote, which is more than 40 words, at that time you cannot use the double quote, but you have to put it in a separate paragraph and make it italicized, and then automatically use a parenthetical citation. I think it is clear to all of you what is short and long. Less than 40 words is a short quote. More than 40 words is a long quote. For the less than 40 words, you have to put within double quote, and at the end of the quote, you have to give parenthetical citation. Now, parenthetical citation means you have to start with the first bracket, add the surname of the author, comma, a year of publication, and then bracket close. This is called parenthetical citation. In case of long quote, which is more than 40 words, what you have to use, you have to put in a separate paragraph, and then you have to make the entire words within italic, and then at the end of the particular words you have to give a parenthetical citation. In these two possible way, you can overcome the problem related to direct plagiarism. Okay. Now, idea plagiarism, and this is very interesting. You know, when I'm taking a session for a Northeast, there is a professor from political science, an associate professor, a ma'am, interrupt me in the session and ask me share a one beautiful event. Okay, not a very beautiful, but it is beautiful for me to learn so many new things. Okay, she's telling me, you know, sir, I have experienced a bitter experience in her life. She shared a particular idea with her friend. Okay, when they are taking a cup of tea in the teacher's room or in the staff room. Okay, the co-partner taking the idea from her and rewrite a particular article on that issue and publish the paper in a
We can't hear you, sir.
Can you hear me right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Does the teacher tell me that, sir, is there any rule relating to the penalty consequence for idea plagiarism? I said no, because you cannot quantify the to what that the idea has taken from you. Okay. Now this idea plagiarism can also happen in some other way. Like suppose you came across a very novel idea. Okay, novel topic. That has also happened in so many cases. Like what you got the idea and you rewrite the idea, or maybe you have gone through a particular paper in English and you rewrite the paper in your own native language. Okay, so that means you have written the entire thing in your own native language. Okay, but keeping the essence of the same paper. The whatever they have written in English, you are keeping the same thing, but in your own language and published in a very good journal, reputed journal that is published in the form of your own regional dialect. So this is an idea plagiarism. But at that time, what happened? Since there is no sure evidence, so there is no quantitative measure that can be imposed on that particular person who has done this kind of thing. So idea plagiarism is another important. So my suggestion is that how we can overcome idea plagiarism. Don't share your idea with anyone else until and unless you have converted your idea from your conceptualization stage to the materialization in the form of a publication. Or if you have some breakthrough idea, if you have some good idea that you have already converted into form of a write-up, but you have not published anywhere, don't disclose the matter to anyone else. Better, if you have done something in the field of like some invention, you can go for patent, or in the form of some dramatic act, you can go for a copyright. In that way, you can overcome the problem pertaining to idea plagiarism. Okay. Now, you can ask me one question, sir. Some of us are research scholar and we are doing our dissertation, that what are the things should be excluded at the time when the dissertation is passed through plagiarism test by the university? So it is being stated very clearly. I don't know that whether all universities are following this particular nomenclature or not, as directed by UGC in 2018 guideline. But yes, because I have found that some universities are never sometimes not following all the guideline as was it was given. They are following different. Like some of the universities are following checking the entire dissertation. But UGC has stated, but before checking the plagiarism, you have to exclude the following things. Following things like reference, bibliography, table of content, preface, acknowledgement, small nature, minor nature, like Parul University, like Research Foundation of India. If you search, you will get it plagiarized. So automatically, these are the small, similar in minor nature that can be excluded. Some generic terms like standard deviation, mean deviation, SPSS version, okay, hypothesis, all those types, standard terms, symbols should be excluded. Okay, and anything that you have put into the public domain by taking all the relevant permission, at the time that should be excluded for the the code, the short code and long code that I told you, that should be excluded from the purpose of plagiarism policy as mentioned by UGC. Now there is a different, there is a penalty consequence for the plagiarism issue according to the level of severity. Now, if it is level 0, 1, 2, 3, there are four level was there. If it is up to 10%, then automatically no penalty is imposed. This particular penalty is only for the scholars, research scholars. Okay, then if it is up to 10%, then no penalty. If it is 10 to 40%, then they are not allowed to submit their thesis for a period of 6 months. So they have to extend that period of 6 months again. Okay, they have to revise the manuscript, and then within an after the extension of 6 months, they are eligible to submit. If it is 40 to 60%, they are debarred from submitting their manuscript for a period of 1 year. And it is more than 60%, automatically there is a chance that their registration can be cancelled by the recommendation of the two committee recommended by the UGC as per their guideline 2018. Okay. But for the faculty members, if they have done some malpractice, if they have written an article, because it is applicable for faculty come researcher, as well as faculty who are writing an article, faculty who is doing research, PhD, along with teaching in a college. At that time, this particular rule is applicable. If suppose a particular faculty has written one paper and is less than 10%, then there is no penalty. If it is 10 to 40%, automatically the head of HEI, that means the principal of the college, or maybe the dean of the college, or maybe the director of the college, can call the particular faculty member and ask the particular faculty to withdraw the paper from the said thing. Now, if it is 40 to 60%, automatically what happens? The HEI head can definitely ask the candidate, the particular professor, to withdraw the paper, and one annual increment can be stopped, as well as they are not eligible to guide any scholars for
अभी तो वही क्या क्या था उस वक्त अंदर सब खाए तो वैसा स्क्रीन तो नहीं, वो श्रिंक क्या है, ठीक ही है स्क्रीन, लेकिन ये है कि उसको ये ज्यादा करने से वीकनेस हो जाएगा ना.
Can you mute?
Madam
Archana
Archana,
madam.
can you mute the Archana madam, can you mute your mic?
Ma'am, you can do that. You can do that, ma'am.
सुबह तो खा रही है, इतना जितना क्वांटिटी में हम लोग दिन भर में नहीं खाते, उतना क्वांटिटी में 2 बार खाते हैं.
Can I continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For if it is level 3, automatically what happens at that time,
Yes, sir.
the 2 annual increment can be stopped, and
Yes.
the respective faculty member are not allowed to guide any scholar for a period of 3 years. So this is a penalty consequence for the faculty members. Okay. So how we can overcome the problem of plagiarism? So my suggestion is that don't copy from anyone else, write of your own. Okay. Even if you can get an idea, please cite properly. Whenever you want to take some idea from someone else, please take permission. Okay. And don't recycle the image, the data, image manipulation, data fabrication. Don't go for this. Okay. In that possible way, you can overcome the problem of the plagiarism. That I told you a couple of minutes ago that there are committee that is being recommended that they will check. There are 2 committee members was given, DIP and IAIP, Departmental Academic Integrity Panel and Institutional Academic. This is nowadays become very relevant in the context of NEP. DIP is a 3-member body and IIP is a 4-member body. This DIP will initially investigate the matter related to the subject-specific matter. Like suppose you are in commerce, you are in management, so you must have in your commerce department, you must have a DIP for commerce. These members will evaluate the severity of this plagiarism, and on the basis of that, they will give a report to the IAIP. So for the entire college, for the entire institute, you must have an IIP. The IIP is comprises of 4-member committee. The DIP will recommend the matter to IIP, and IIP will finally take the decision whether they will cancel the registration of the research scholar, or maybe they can stop the annual increment of the faculty member, or whatever may be the consequence. So they will decide. So this is a 2 ethics committee that was recommended by the UGC as per the guideline given in 2018. Okay, so this is the 2-part. Now this is the 3rd part, case 3, in relation to this the ethics. Now you can see this particular image. Okay, this is the image that is available. I have this particular image. Now can you tell me, do you think it is ethical? If not, why? Hurry, only 4th author position is available in finance and trade related journal. Contact now. So this is an advertisement, okay, given in order to lure the authors to become to take the authorship. Okay, so do you think this kind of marketing phenomena is being acceptable by the academic community?
Sir, it's happening, sir, commonly. I mean, this kind of malpractice is going on, whereby people are paying in order to have their listed among the authors. So, so this is a malpractice which has crept in the academic environment.
Okay,
and it's growing, sir. But it is, I mean, it is unjustified, unethical in every sense.
Sir, I'm telling you one important thing in this context. Okay, this is truly unethical. I'm telling you one thing is based on my own observation. Maybe I am wrong, I right, I don't know. That you will decide that whether I am right or wrong. See, my suggestion is very simple. Okay, you first develop a competent area of your own. Then you can start writing. Okay.
That's
so that,
true, sir.
yes. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listening to you, sir.
Can I ask? You are asking me any question?
No, sir. I think you asked a question and I replied to that, sir.
Okay. So, so this is a case. I am coming to that point later on. So, do you think it is ethical, and if not, why? Now, coming to that particular point, can you please go to the case and tell me, identify the nature of the problem? Do you think it is correct or wrong? Please tell me, any one of you, what is your opinion? Is it right or wrong? Hello, anyone?
According to me, it is not good.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
good evening. Sir, I have a slight different opinion out here.
Okay.
Based on this case, he recently joined a college in the Department of History, and he's a fresher. So maybe there's a possibility that maybe he doesn't know much about the statistical part and the research, so he might have taken help from someone outsider. So partly it is ethical and partly unethical, according to me.
Okay. Okay. A very good observation that you have made. Okay.
I don't agree with that statement.
Okay.
It is not correct, because if someone is taking help from outside, he or she has to be acknowledged. At least acknowledgement should be given if authorship is not given.
Ma'am, you are correct actually. I am telling you one thing. Okay, if you know by the new education policy, I think all of you are aware of. Now, NEP, even suppose you are applying for a minor project or major research project, I think you have recently seen the new advertisement given in the ICSSR. Okay, they are now giving some funding for a new research project. Okay, from it may be 5 lakh to 30 lakh, whatever it may be, it is giving. Okay, some are different the areas they have mentioned. Okay. Now the thing is that suppose I cannot do all the thing. Okay, it is not possible. Maybe I am specialized in the domain of maybe literature review. You can do a very statistical analysis. So we can combine together better, because nowadays they are demanding why not you all of you can going for multidisciplinary or research. Okay, that means we can collaborate and collaborative research. So automatically, if I am not competent, I can take the help from someone else who is more stronger in statistical tools. But that it doesn't mean that the person is much superior than me. I am superior in my own field. The person is superior in his own field. It doesn't mean that okay, that you are inferior and the person is superior because he knows statistics very well. Okay, but the thing is that we can go for collaboration, and that is now encouraging by the authorities. Okay, so the problem is that the Paul, even though he is a young assistant professor, okay, does not have any research exposure. Now he cannot take this kind of undue advantage out of it. Definitely, it is moral responsibility of Paul to incorporate the name of that person from whom he has taken the help. I can tell you another example. There is one student call me okay, and then tell me that, sir, my mentor forcing me to write a paper. Okay, and specifically the mentor told her that please write a paper on behalf of me, and so that I can publish the paper in a top category journal, which is listed in ABDC, Australian Business Dean Council. And don't expect that I will incorporate your name as an author. If you inform the matter to someone else, I will delay your registration process by more than 2 years. So this is a threat the mentor is giving to her scholar, and she is sharing this particular problem with me. Okay, so this is a thing. So this is a case of an authorship problem. Okay, so now what is authorship? Committee on Publication Ethics has specifically defined the term authorship in a specific way. The person who can contribute significantly, or maybe in designing the work. Suppose I have given you the idea, I have given you the entire blueprint, how you craft the particular paper. So it is your responsibility, the person who has taken this initiative, to incorporate my name as an author. Based on the weightage, you can put me as a 4th author, or maybe in the 3rd author, that depends on you. But he is also an author because he is designed, conceptualized the entire work. Someone has done the acquisition, data collection. Someone has done the interpretation. Someone has done the editing or proofreading. All the members must be part of the authorship. That is a definition case was given by COPE relating to managing the authorship issue. But in this context, very interestingly, one thing happened. Okay, the types of authorship. There are 3 types of authorship issue may originate: ghost, guest, and gift authorship. What is ghost authorship? The example of Paul is an example of ghost authorship, because Paul has taken the help of someone else and he has not recognized the person either in the acknowledgement, nor he has incorporated the name of that person as an author. So that person is known as ghost author. So that is a ghost authorship. What is guest authorship? Here, the most important thing, suppose you are a scholar, you are doing a research under the head of under the guide of a particular professor, suppose A. And A is a very influential person and now is a dean or maybe the director of Department of Commerce and Management, something like that. Okay, so influential, and the person and that university also having a particular journal which is listed in UGC-CARE. Now, scholar has, okay, she can or he can publish the paper of his own with taking permission, but he has incorporated the name of that person and put the name of the person as a first author, because she know or he know that if I incorporate the name of that person, the chance of my paper got selected will be high. This is an example of guest authorship, not a ghost authorship. And gift authorship means you have gifted your paper to anyone else. Like suppose you, if you're working in a private colleges or private institutions, this type of things are very common. Suppose the entire paper you have written, but you have incorporated the name of your dean, maybe you have incorporated the name of your director as a first and second author, and you put yourself as a third author. Why? This is a case of gift authorship. Okay, so there are three types of authorship identified by COPE: ghost, guest, and gift. And according to COPE, all these nomenclature are unethical. So please avoid all those things. Okay, so this is very important for us to understand. Now, what they have stated, how we can overcome this problem. See, my suggestion is also same like that. Please create your own identity by virtue of your work. Okay, this is very important. You can create an ORCID ID. And this is nowadays is very important for those who have not opted for ORCID. Please opt for an ORCID. Now, ORCID is a very unique thing. Like I can show you this ORCID ID. Now, this is the ORCID ID you must create because this is a very simple way. You can go over there and then automatically click on the registration process. And then automatically you can put your first name, last name, and automatically they will create a particular ORCID ID. They will give you a domain page of ORCID, and automatically you can get all the research work related to the area. Suppose you are working on gender diversity, you are working on MSME, you are working on cryptocurrency. All those things should be put into that particular. So automatically, whenever a paper is being published based on ORCID ID, ORCID will automatically capture the article and cite it in your ORCID database. Okay, and the most important thing is that suppose you have written a particular paper and then you are ready to submit the paper for publication in a Sage or Emerald or Wiley or Taylor and Francis. Without having an ORCID ID, you are unable to submit because definitely at the very initial stage, they will demand from you the ORCID ID. So this has become very important. This will give you a unique identity. So with the help of this unique identity, you can try to identify the problem. Another simple problem of overcoming the issue of authorship is to identify the contribution of the authors according to their weightage. Because when you are submitting your paper in international journals like Emerald, Taylor and Francis, something like that, they demand from you, please specify the author's contribution. And based on the author's contribution, which portion you have done, which portion the other has done, based on that, this information must be projected. So this is very important guideline for all of us. Okay. Next one, or you can say the case 4 is called redundant publication. Okay, this is a very common practice nowadays. Okay, common practice when it is a very common papers, 2 papers you have created with full similar reference, similar hypothesis, same data, same sample size, same identical methodology, and similar conclusion. Okay, that is called redundant publication. That is, I know so many people based on their same the thesis, they're publishing more than 6-10 papers. Or same thing. Suppose you have collected, they have done the study based on 500 samples. For each sample, 50, 100, 100, 100, 100, 5 publication. For one paper, they just change the title, but rest of the things remain same. So these are all called redundant publication. And this redundant publication has no use. Or you can try initially, or you try to project it yourself that I am a vibrant researcher, or maybe it will enlarge my biodata or CV, but actually it is not. Okay, it is only enhancing by quantity, not by quality. So what you can do, how you can overcome? So focus on quality, not on quantity. Yeah, for earlier papers, if you are using the same paper again with full same thing, same hypothesis, please don't do that. Okay. If you try to take use of your earlier paper, please disclose the previous submission very clearly. Even though, suppose you have submitted your paper for a conference presentation, maybe the conference will take place after 2 months, but by that time you are also developing another paper out of the same, but please mention, okay, everything that this paper has already been submitted for conference presentation purpose, dated on that. So this is very important. In that possible way, we can overcome the problem of this redundant publication. Okay. Case 5 is related to, you can say, perish or publish culture. You know that nowadays we are under too much pressure. We have to publish. I have to show, I have to enhancing my CV. Okay. Or I have to show my academic community that I am a vibrant researcher. and or for my promotion purpose, or suppose it is being condition of my employment. I have to publish 2 papers in the Scoopers. Okay, otherwise I will lose my job. So automatically you are under tremendous pressure. How you can manage your class, your exam copy checking, your administrative work, and to give some time. Okay, otherwise it will hamper your family life. So automatically we are under tremendous pressure. Okay, and if you want to write a paper alone, automatically you are taking a Hercules job for doing this kind of things. So automatically this kind of advertisement you can see, and they also ask you to please pay. We will write everything for you. Okay, and we will check the plagiarism, and we will also put the paper in a very good journal for fast publication. So this is a publish or perish culture. Now, so this means these kind of journals are called predatory journals. Okay, because and why we are fall victim into it, because we don't have any other option, because we are under pressure, and that is why we are taking the help of those predatory journals. The predatory journal concept earlier was there. Sometimes we often say that they are taking a high APC charge, or maybe they are giving response within 24/7. Okay, they doesn't have a professional layout. They don't follow a proper length of the article. They are taking articles from various field, various domain of subject areas. Okay, for their journal. That is not being allowed. Okay, so we are under tremendous pressure, and knowing these pressures are something like that. Okay, there is a pressure for losing our own job. Sometimes it becomes very difficult to publish in a standardized journal, standardized publishing house in a reputed journal database. So automatically, sometimes what happens, the rejection rate is very high. Okay, and I don't have adequate skill how I can deal with those journal publishing house, and how I can reframe my article according to the format that was given by following the guideline of scope as well as the journal publishing house guideline. So this is very important. Every publishing house, they have their own author guideline, paper submission format. So we have to customize our paper according to that format for the purpose of publication. So this is very important. Okay. And second, most important, fourth point is that competition among the colleague. Okay. This competition as creating, it may be a good, but it sometimes also create a bad impact on us. So that is a predatory publication. So now once we are fall victim into it, so there is no way out. Already we have paid a good amount of money, and automatically once the paper was published, the paper is not in good quality. So automatically we can understand that we are the loser point. So what we will check? We will check few things. We will check that whether the journal, if it is an open access, is listed in DOAJ or not, directory of open access journal or not, whether the journal is listed in Ulrich periodical directory or not. This is very important. Whether the publishing house is a member of Open Access Scholarly Publisher Association or not. Next important thing is that to check whether the journal is a predatory or fake journal or not, we have to check this Bell's list. Okay, check this, see the Bell's list. Geoffrey Bell has created this list a couple of years ago. He has listed, now he's no more, and the journal, this particular site is not being updated, so it becomes defunct now, but still it is a very good repository of all clone journal, or you can say hijack journal, or you can say predatory journals. So what you can do, you can check so many journals are there. Here are also from India as well. These are listed, are called Bell's list. What else you can do? You can also my suggestion is that instead of searching through the Bell's list, better you can enroll yourself in the UGC-CARE with Savitabhai Phule Pune University database, and with the help of your Gmail account as well as your password, and then automatically you can identify the UGC-CARE list group 1 and group 2, or you can see the Scoopus and Web of Science database and automatically select the right journal. So selecting the right journal becomes very, very important nowadays. And for that, you have to go for a proper journal selection tools. Now, I can give you some suggestion to how the journal selection tools that you can use. Now, here the option is there. You can use this particular platform, which is very good one, which is called Shimago Journal and Country Rank. Okay, what you can do, you can go to the Shimago Journal and Country Rank. You can go to the journal rank, click on the term Explore. Once you click on the term Explore, you can select the subject area of your own. Like I'm in the field of commerce and management, so I can select business management and accounting. I can select the subject category, business management and accounting. Okay, I can select my own country, my loving India. So I can select India. Okay. And then types. Here you can select or click on the tab called journals. And then click on the term apply. Once you click on apply, the Shimago journal rank will give you the country wise. See, the country flag was denoted in the right hand side, and the name of the journal, like Global Journal of Flexible Management System, Vikalp Prabandhan, FIIB. Now it is also listed in ABDC also. FIIB is also listed in ABDC in this current year 2022. ABDC C category journal is the top category journal. Okay, and also see the type of journals: quartile 1, quartile 3, quartile 2. So quartile 1 indicating high category journal as per the Scopus database is concerned. Q2 is moderate, Q3, and then Q4. Okay. More than 75% is Q1, 50 to 75% is Q2, less than 50%, but more than 25% is called Q3, and less than 75% is called Q4 category journal. Okay, so you can submit your paper according to the journal. Okay, but also you can take the help of this like journal suggestion. Okay, now in case of journal suggestion, what you can do, you have to keep your topic ready. Suppose you have written one topic, and then automatically what you can do, you can put the title of your topic on this called Springer journal suggestion, where you can put the title. Then automatically you can also give the abstract. Okay, you can put the abstract. Just a minute. Now you can keep the abstract, and then automatically you can select the subject area, business and management. Then click on the term called refine your recommendation. Suppose you can write the minimum impact factor 2, minimum acceptance rate is 10, and maximum time is 1 year. And once you can give the criteria based on your choice. You have 3 options: all journal, open access journal, and subscribe journal, and then click on suggest journal. Okay, automatically they will give you some suggestion of the journal according to the nature of your paper. So here they have given me 2 suggestions. The impact factor of the journal, all journals are published from Springer. So impact factor of the journal, how many days you will get the first report from the editorial desk, and the acceptance rate, sometimes given, sometimes not given. Here it is given 14%, here it is not given. So in that way, you can select the right journal for publication. Okay, so with this, I'm ending the session. Thank you for all. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hope it is useful to all of you.
Yes, sir. It was very useful.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you so much. Is the forum open for questions?
Very informative session, sir. Thank you so much. We got to learn many new things.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Amit, sir.
Sir,
Sir,
there
is the
is one,
forum open for questions?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
sir, one question, if you permit, may I ask, sir?
Yes, yes, sure.
Yeah, sir. Many a times we also check the credentials of a journal using Scopus.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So, sir, how Schimago scores over Scopus in terms of checking of the journal?
See,
In fact, I'm asking this because I lost the link in between. That's my problem.
Okay, actually, sir, what happened that if you can, there are 2 possible ways. Either you can directly check from Shimago journal and country rank, or you can automatically, you will get the same thing as or you can go to direct Shimago automatically. So both the things will reflect the same thing because all are linked with the Scopus database.
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir?
Yes, PM.
Yeah, sir, good evening. Sir, actually, currently I am dealing with 5 to 6 students, those who are undergoing summer internship project in one company. Okay, so whenever I talk to them about plagiarism, There is excuses that, ma'am, we are working in the same company, so the company profile doesn't change. So the board of directors, their products, the product information is same. So almost the introduction chapter is filled with 5 pages of company and profile information. So how can we guide the students to stop that practice where 5 students are coming with a similar kind of introduction chapter? Can we work on the company and the profile information?
Absolutely, ma'am. You can ask them to write of their own, paraphrase it. They can write in their own language better. Because actually what happened, Priya ma'am, because they can take something from any authentic source. But their way of writing, you know much better. Because you know how your ex-student can write, what is his handwriting and what is her handwriting of why. So you can differentiate automatically because you have to deal with them in the class. You have to check their assignments, so many. So automatically you can ask them write of your own. Whatever you have learned, go for more reference about the company and then rewrite of your own. Then automatically you can rewrite, rephrase it, rewrite in your own language. That is better. I think that is the only possible way. Yes.
Sir,
Good evening, sir.
Mail ID, sir.
Sir, good evening.
Okay.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. If you could share your mail ID, sir.
Yes, I'm sharing. I have already shared my mobile number. I'm sharing my mail ID. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, can you please tell us how this UGC care list can be accessed?
It is very simple, sir. I can show you immediately, but due to lack of time, it is not possible. If already you have your Gmail account, sir, okay, you can just go to UGC care directly, search in the Google search engine, open UGC care. They will ask you that please fill you are a new registrant, so please fill the form. So you have to fill the form, your name and everything, your Gmail account, and then they ask you to give a new password. Okay, for UGC care. Once you give the password, they ask you to resubmit the password once again. Once you give, this is the password for your UGC care. By every time when you are trying to enter, automatically you will Gmail account, Gmail ID, as well as the password that you have created so far only for UGC care. You can go, no problem, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. I think now the queries are ended and the participants who have some...
I have one question, sir.
Okay, Pooja ma'am, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, recently you told that it is good if you cite your co-author's paper, right? Research papers in your paper.
Yes, ma'am.
You told that it is good if you cite your co-author's research papers in your article, right?
For in respect of, yes, you can cite your earlier paper, earlier work, if it is novel, it is innovative in your new paper. Okay, that you can do, sir.
Yeah, okay. Then my question is, if I am writing a research paper and there are 2 more authors in my research paper, then who will be co-author of whom?
No.
Main author is corresponding author. I mean, if I submit that paper in a journal, then who will be the main author? I mean, corresponding author will be the main author, or first author will be the main author?
Pooja ma'am, it will decide based on the contribution between the authors. Suppose you are working with your scholar. Okay, so at that time, suppose when you have given a valuable input to your scholar, and but you have directed the scholar that since you are in the learning stage and you have to go miles to go, please incorporate your name as a first author and put my name as a second author. Like when I am doing my research along with my student, automatically I always put my name of my scholar as the first author and put myself as a second author. Okay, whatever my contribution it is, even from the conceptualization stage of the designing of the entire structure of the paper, everything. But putting my student as a first author and then I put my, because ultimately he has to draft or she has to draft the paper. I will proofread and edit everything and check the use of methodology, whether it is up to the mark or not, everything. So it is based on a decision who will be the corresponding author. Okay. Even though you are a first author, but your second author is the corresponding. That is possible.
Sir, can you repeat your phone number in the chat box, because
Thank you.
it is not good today.
So the participants, those who want to ask some more questions.
Yeah. Sir, can you suggest any book regarding this topics?
See, you are asking me the question. I have written one book on that topic. So you can, if you found it useful, you can see my book. It is available in Amazon and Flipkart as well. I'm coming with publication in the month of August, where I have incorporated the use of ChatGPT chatbot in the, or how you are using in the scholarly paper writing, and whether it is legal or not. I have incorporated those things here, that in that book.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
So if any participants want to ask any question, then please mail us. Sir will reply to your mail. And again, sir, thank you so much, sir, for your interesting session. It was very interesting to hear you, and I hope the session will be able to build milestones for research scholars. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session.
First of all, thanks to Nikita ma'am for bearing with us. So many questions in the session. Thank you, Nikita. Thank you. Thank you, Ajay sir. I think you are there. And thanks to all of you for your support and cooperation. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you, participants. But I have one announcement for all of you. So please be here for 1 or 2 minutes. I would like to inform you all that the second session that we had in our 10 days program, and due to some technical problem that was not there, so that second day session will be going on 17th June. So by tomorrow we will have second day session, and the topic will be research design and sampling, and the speaker will be Dr. Shrestha Chhabra sir. And tomorrow's session that will be for Dr. Mosmi Datta ma'am, and the topic was writing research paper or report. That will be held on 19th. That will be held on 18th. So give me 1 minute. I will clear again this thing. Second day session will be held on tomorrow. That is tomorrow. Dr. Shrestha Chhabra sir will take the session, and the topic will be research design and sampling. And Mosmi Datta's ma'am session will be on 18th, and the topic will be writing research paper or report. And in the 19th, we will have last session of this 10 days training program. Detail will be shared in the chat window. If you have any confusion, you can say this. You can see the chat window. Thank you, participants. Thank you, sir, and thank you, RFI team.
Thank you so much, Pranam. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.